The Map by Ruba Qewar. Chapter 4, World Fundamentalism, the Unseen Practices. Second, Foreign Students. The US hosted approximately 486,000 students in 2011, mostly from Islamic countries. It also received 27,561 spouses and children of those foreign students. The US received 76,596 Muslim students from the 515,263 total students in 2012. This is almost 14.9% of the total the students who come to the US from all over the world. There are hundreds of thousands of students who come every year seeking education, in addition to the visitors or illegal immigrants who stay in the country. Muslim students interact with non-Muslim students every day at school, works, public places, etc. The students are more likely to change their minds while they are being influenced by the culture and people. Christians missionaries find their way in getting more Muslim students to convert to Christianity, especially the ones who come from more conservative countries such as Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, etc. The ages of these students are usually between 18 to 40, so the rate of the receptivity of the Christian theology is higher than any other ages. These students go through a cultural shock and may start to be affected by the surrounding and may want to be accepted in the society, so they tend to slip away from their religion. They may try to attend nightclubs, drinking alcohol, getting intimate with the opposite sex, etc. This is usually during the discovery phase for these foreign students. The reason for Americanizing the Muslim students is not necessarily a weakness in their parents raising them while they were growing up. Their lack of practicing religion and staying close to their Lord will definitely help in changing them. However, the main reason for them to slip away is facing postmodernism in practical life. Most of the time, religion and race are not mentioned in the West, so people don't see that it's necessary to worship God. Students may start to adjust themselves to these ideologies and lose their religious identity. Dr. Max Kershaw says in his article, Comparison Between Christianity and Islam in the West, he says, Muslims have a famous saying, when you are in Rome, then do like what the Romans do. Generally, the ones who deal with the foreign students agree that the Middle Eastern students are more likely to adopt the new culture. They seem to be able to Americanize themselves while they are there. Then they resort back to their normal ways of life before they go back to their home countries. Therefore, it isn't uncommon to see a high percentage of Muslims who do not actively practice in their religion while they are in the West, in spite of the fact that the numbers of Muslims who convert to Christianity can barely be noticed. Until now, nothing serious has been done to evangelize the Muslims in the US. The cells of the Christian missionaries in the undergraduate students. The missionaries work voluntarily in the universities and colleges, are typically students taking the same subjects as other students. They start evangelizing people by building bridges, getting to know other people, and sharing stories and experiences with them. They are trained and ready to answer any religious questions, such as those about the Trinity, divinity of Jesus, the divinity of the Bible, etc. They also have some knowledge about other religions, such as Islam. They know how to manipulate the Muslims with slandering Islam or spreading misconceptions as facts to them. However, most of them don't do it right away in order to build and strengthen their relationship with their Muslim friends. Most students who have common interests gather themselves in clubs. There are some practicing Muslims who work in da'wah and calling people to Islam, just as there are Christians working in evangelizing. Usually there are some special events that are performed by the school, such as International Day, when people wear their traditional clothes and serve their native foods. Of course, Christian missionaries find these days as a golden opportunities for them to distribute their tracts and brochures. Missionaries tend to work diligently to attract the Muslim towards them. Interestingly, there are interfaith meetings held by Christians to discuss religion with the Muslims. Sometimes there are also debates that are performed by pastors and Muslim scholars in the college or universities. In these events, we see the Christian missionaries spreading themselves out in the room and sit next to the Muslims in order to get closer to them and open doors for their work as evangelists. Commonly, there are videos that are distributed talking about ex-Muslims who converted to Christianity in order to try to weaken the faith of the Muslims and shake their faith.